Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you comment below. If you really enjoyed the video, if you found this video helpful, please make sure that you comment below. Please make sure, guys, that you subscribe. A lot of people are watching my videos, but they're not subscribing, so please make sure that you also subscribe. Okay, guys, so in today's video, I want to talk about my first uh, my first time experience. How am I going to say this? My experience teaching, my first time teaching in an actual school and just being hired as a full-time teacher and teaching. I'm doing this video as a reflection. I know maybe I should have made some notes, but this is just a reflection of my first year teaching. So I graduated in 2021 with my honors degree, and then right after that, I got a job and I started teaching. So I'm just going to be reflecting on my experience, last year when I was a teacher, when I was teaching. I'm still teaching, by the way, but I just want to make a reflection video of what happened last year. So I'm going to start with the positive side, the really good things. Whenever I think about this school, I feel like even in 10 years' time, because I feel like I'm making this video as a reference point for myself because I know that one day I'm going to rewatch this video and probably I'm going to be in another school or I'm still going to be in this school. So I just want to reflect on my teaching journey, as a teacher, how I've grown, what has changed and so forth. So this is also for future me. So hey, future me. All right, so let me start with the good things, the really good things that I loved about teaching last year when it was my first time teaching. My classroom, guys, I love my classroom. I loved that classroom. It was a big classroom and it also had books. I love reading. I've always loved reading. Even when I was in varsity, I used to read. Even when I was in high school, I used to read a lot. So my classroom used to have books and I really, really loved that. And it had this TV, big plasma TV, and I also really enjoyed that. And the students also really enjoyed that. I'm sorry about the noise, there's construction outside. So whenever there was a concept that students didn't understand, it was always easier for me to search something on YouTube and, play a video for them just to make sure that they really understand the concept that I'm teaching. So I really, really enjoyed that TV because it assisted me in my teaching. If I found that there was a concept that was too hard or something that students are finding difficulties in understanding, I would just play a video for them on YouTube and it would make so much sense. So I really enjoyed that. Number three, I really enjoyed aftercare. So I used to be the full-time aftercare teacher, and at first it was just two students that I used to take care of during after school. But then obviously as time went by, we got more students. But really, when I think about that school, aftercare will always be at the top of my head because I really enjoyed aftercare, guys. I really enjoyed. I got to know my students a little much more better. You know, I I I got to learn their personalities. I got to see them form friendships during aftercare. So aftercare was really nice. It was so relaxing for me after a full day of just teaching and doing this and this and this, just to be in aftercare, relax, have our lunch. And I think that's the other parts that I really enjoyed. We used to have such nice lunch. So now that I think of it, I remember this one time we were having ham. Did we not finish that ham? Like my students are like, ma'am, we're not full. And I'm like, me too. Guys, we had that ham. We ate that ham up. We finished that ham, and I'm sure the principal was like, did they really just finish the whole packet? So we used to have really nice lunch, and I got to know my students better, guys. Like sitting after school, interacting with them, getting to know how their day was. Really, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Playing Uno, playing cards, playing 30 seconds, playing Monopoly, playing other games where we have to go around, chase each other, playing that game, that twister game, whatever. Like, I really enjoyed that. And I think when I think about my first year of teaching, I'll always think about aftercare. And I remember this one moment. There's this dog, because our school is behind. This is our school, right? And behind our school is a house, and house this house has dogs. So this one cute little dog called Teddy came into our school, and he came into our class, and I'm scared of dogs, but Teddy is cute. So my students and I were just running around like, oh my God, Teddy, what are you doing here? We were all scared of the dog, but it's a cute dog. So whenever I think about my first year of teaching, I just want to hang on to those moments, to those really, really good moments. And we used to do a little bit of art. So I remember one of my students was really artistic, like she's really, really good. She made this beautiful painting, and I loved it so much that I pasted it on my whiteboard. I wonder what happened to that picture. I pasted it on my whiteboard. That's how beautiful the picture is. So the painting was. So those are the moments I really want to hang on to when I think about my first year of teaching, and the amazing colleagues. Like, guys, when I was talking to my friends from other schools, they're like, colleagues, this, and this. And I won't lie, I never had any issue with any of my colleagues. That's how amazing everyone is in that school. So I never, even tiniest bit, had any problems with any of my colleagues. I've always just felt secured, felt protected. So it was really, really good for me to feel that way as a young teacher coming into a school. Now, let's talk about moments that I didn't enjoy. Now, if I said there were no challenges in that school, I would be lying. I would be lying if I sat here and said I never faced challenges in that school. I'll be lying. But yeah. So let's talk about the challenges. The first challenge I found is that when I came into the school, certain teachers had already left the school, so I was coming into their place. So students were still very hung on the teachers that had left. So when I came in, there was this whole thing that, I know, we miss teacher so and so, who are you? Like, we don't really know you, girl. We miss teacher so and so. So when I first came in, I felt, and I think this is also a me thing, like I really felt like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Because everything that I do, or everything that I did, was constantly compared with the two teachers that had left. And it was not even, anyone else comparing me. It was my students who would say, we missed this teacher. She used to do this with us, do this with us. So I found myself constantly trying to just be this wonderful teacher who does not shout, who does not, obviously I don't shout, but who does not get angry, who does not get, who's not strict. So I always wanted to be the cool teacher because I was trying to fill in the shoes of the teachers that had left. Obviously, guys, when you're not your authentic self, things will backfire. And they did backfire on me. Another thing that I did was I constantly, because I wanted to build a good relationship with my students, I constantly spoke about my personal life. Now, looking back, there are certain things that I could have shared, but there's certain things that I should not have shared with my students. And it ended up backfiring on me because I remember I would share things innocently, like, oh, I get an allowance, and then from my partner, and then you'll hear a comment, like a rude comment coming from a student about what I've said. So I wish I didn't share a lot about my personal life. Another thing that I wish I did differently my first year of teaching was speaking up for myself. I think as a young teacher coming into a school as a female, like I was like, I don't want to cause any trouble. But that caused trouble for me.